When asked to picture the climate in Arizona, most people think desert, heat, and sunshine. They don't think of floodwaters. However, floods are one of the most common hazards in Arizona and the United States. In fact, Arizona experiences between 40 and 100 floods every year. In the last decade, Maricopa County alone has had 11 severe floods. The summer of 2014 brought devastating floods around the state when daily rainfall totaled upwards of 5 to 8 inches in some places. Arizona floods typically are due to 3 things: monsoon storms, winter storms, or as a result of heavy rain in a region damaged by fire. Floods can be local, impacting a neighborhood or community, or very large, affecting entire river basins and multiple states. Flooding either develops slowly in the form of an overland flood or quickly as a flash flood. Overland flooding occurs when waterways, such as rivers, overflow their banks due to an excess of rainwater or a possible levee or dam breach. Excessive rainfall or snowmelt can also cause overland flooding when the water exceeds the capacity of streets and drains. Flash floods can develop in minutes with no signs of rain nearby, and often have fast-moving water carrying debris. Be aware of flood hazards no matter where you live or work, especially if you are near water, behind a levee, or downstream from a dam. Even small streams, dry riverbeds, and low-lying ground can flood. Know your neighborhood. Be aware of the areas known to flood suddenly, like streams and drainage channels. Find out if your property is at risk for flood. Flood hazard maps have been created to show flood risk in every community. Flood risk is based on a number of factors, including rainfall, topography, flood control measures, river flow, and tidal surge data, along with changes due to new construction and development. Know the emergency plans for your area. Contact your local emergency management, your work, and your child's school to ask about their plans. Flood losses are not typically covered under renter or homeowners insurance policies. Talk to your insurance provider about the type of flood insurance coverage you will need. There is a 30-day waiting period before flood insurance goes into effect. FEMA manages the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, which makes federally backed flood insurance available in communities that agree to adopt and enforce floodplain management ordinances to reduce future flood damage. To find out more about the NFIP, visit www.floodsmart.gov. Even if you think you live in a community with a low risk of flooding, remember that anywhere it rains, it can flood. Prepare yourself and your family. Build a 72-hour emergency supplies kit. Find out more about a kit and plan at www.ein.az.gov. Write a family communications plan so your family knows what to do in an emergency. The plan should include several escape routes away from your home, by car and on foot. Practice evacuating with your family. You can protect parts of your home from a potential flood. Elevate the furnace, water heater, electrical panel in your home if you live in an area that has a high flood risk. Install check valves to prevent floodwater from backing up in the drains of your home. If possible, construct barriers to stop floodwater from entering the building. Turn on the television, radio, or go online if there's a potential for flooding. Know what the different flood terms mean. Flood watch means flooding is possible. Flash flood watch means flash flooding is possible, and you should be prepared to move to higher ground. Flood warning means flooding is occurring or will occur soon. If advised to evacuate, do so immediately. Flash flood warning means a flash flood is occurring. Seek higher ground on foot immediately. If you have time, prepare to evacuate and secure your home. Gather what you want to bring with you. Move important and essential items off the ground. Unplug electrical appliances. Bring in outdoor furniture. If told to do so, turn off utilities at the main switches or valves. Do not touch electrical equipment if you are wet or standing in water. If there is any possibility of a flash flood, move to higher ground right away. Follow orders to evacuate. Avoid walking through moving water. Just 6 inches can make a person fall. If you have to walk in water, use a stick to check the firmness of the ground and for hidden debris. Never drive into flooded areas. The depth of the water may not be obvious and the road may have washed out. Be extremely cautious driving at night when it is harder to recognize dangers. Stick to designated evacuation routes and never drive around barricades. Stay mindful of what is happening on the road. If floodwaters rise around your car, evacuate the car immediately and head to higher ground, if you can do so safely. 6 inches of water can cause loss of control and stalling in most passenger cars. A foot of water can float many vehicles. Two feet of rushing water can carry away most vehicles, including sport utility vehicles and trucks. After the flood, return home only when the authorities indicate that it is safe to do so. Local alerts and warning systems can also provide information. Remember that flooding may have caused familiar places to change. Roads and walkways may have eroded. If you must walk or drive through an area that has been flooded, stay on firm ground, avoiding water when possible. Standing water may be electrically charged from underground or down power lines. Do not go into a building that's surrounded by floodwaters. Use extreme caution when you do enter a building, as there may be damage that you cannot see. Keep your power off at the main breaker or fuse box until you've been told that it's safe to turn on. Water may be contaminated by oil, gasoline, or raw sewage. Do not drink or use it until you've been told that the water is safe to drink. Call your local emergency management office if you are unsure. When you start the recovery process, document all your damage and cleanup efforts. Disinfect everything that got wet. Mud left from floodwaters may contain sewage and chemicals. Contact your insurance carrier to discuss claims. News organizations and local emergency managers will be able to provide information on assistance from state or federal agencies or other organizations. Find more information about flooding online at www.floodsmart.gov or www.ready.gov.